The next step in assembling the wicker crown for the tree chorus costume is to assemble my materials. So I've decided to try and work with wicker. It's lightweight, easily moldable, and I think it's going to work fine for these crowns. I purchased 3 different types of wicker. This is a round one, this is kind of a lightweight flat one, and then these are kind of some wider flat pieces. I've also assembled some different types of wire, some floral wire and some millinery wire. I've bought a few different kinds of headbands and some combs which will help anchor those crowns in place. I've got my leaf fabrics, glues, different types of glues, and I'm gonna start my testing. So first of all, I tried the wicker. Now, wicker is a natural fiber. It's actually a tree, as we know, and it's called wicker caning. And so what you do is you soak it in water just for like 15 minutes, and then you can literally bend it into any shape you want, hold it into that shape, let it dry, and you've got your form. So the first one we did was this one with the very lightweight wicker and mounted it on a headband. And it made a nice shape, but right away it was like, nope, this is too small. Then we tried the round wicker and molded it into a leaf shape by soaking it in water and then gluing it, and again onto a mock headband. And this seems to be better and seems to be more the shape that we want. All right, and then before proceeding, I tested my glues. So here I did a mock-up of the crown piece, and I tested it with a glue gun, I tested it with an epoxy glue, and I tested it with a wood glue. And I did the same shape for each one, and then I tried manipulating them to see what the hold was, and it seemed that wood glue was the best. So I was able to stick with wood glue for the entirety of the project. The next test was the paint. So I tried 3 different shades of gold, a bright gold, an antique gold, and kind of a brass gold, and chose which color I wanted to use. So very important, all these tests, so that you know ahead of time what you're working with. I tested the leaves. So I selected various different types of fabrics to work with, ranging from very sheer to very opaque and kind of crispy. I tested sort of crimping them like a leaf. I tested zigzagging wire onto the leaves so that they could be sort of crimped and molded. I tested gluing them onto raffia to see how that might work. So then after I tested the fabrics, I started assembling these kind of tests, thinking that these would go around the head. So first of all, kind of a braided look around a piece of raffia. Here's kind of a shaggier look with sort of torn pieces of fabric. And then this one was actually tied around a piece of wire. And then this is a sort of a thicker look done by Linda Aguirre that was pieces of fabric tied onto a braided piece. So really important before you start building your piece. Number 1, assemble all the tools you think you'll need, wire cutters, glues, everything you think you'll need, lots of different types of fabric, and start testing. And I cannot overestimate the importance of doing these tests. You learn so much just by working with your materials.